Hi, my name is Madison. I just got back from my second semester abroad with Verto Education in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and I wanted to share 7 things that I learned while studying abroad with Verto Education. Ignore my big mic here, but let's just get into it. The first thing I learned while studying abroad with Verto Education was independence and confidence. Moving on from senior year to like your first year of college or whatever you end up doing after high school is really scary and kind of a big step regardless of what you're doing. But to go abroad your first year, which is a pretty unique situation in my opinion, is definitely really scary. But because it's so scary and unique and special, I feel like you gain so much confidence knowing that you can be countries away on a different continent than your family and you can still navigate your life by yourself. I think it makes coming back home a lot easier because say either you're staying in state or you're going out of state, that can be a hard adjustment. But once you've done literally a whole different country, I feel like it makes the adjustment process for the remaining years of your degree way easier. I don't know, I would just say nothing makes you feel more capable than living in a foreign country all by yourself. Like me, for example, in Argentina, I went on my first solo trip. It was like not even a month into my semester, and traveling in general is stressful, let alone doing it by yourself. I just felt so much confidence to know that like I could navigate an airport, knowing that I could, even with the language barrier, figure it out. Just gives you a lot of confidence and independence. And also you're starting to do like regular adult things you start to do on your own when you move out, but in an entirely different country. So like you're grocery shopping by yourself, you're taking public transportation, you're getting to class, all of these kind of things of adult life, you're doing that, which is already an adjustment, but then to do it in a foreign country where there might be language barriers and it's in a city and a country you don't know, you know, everybody figures it out. So it just feels really nice to be like, okay, I went to a different country either for a semester or a full year and I took care of myself as an adult even though I was in a foreign place. Second, it teaches you the importance of travel. I feel like because you're in like a different place or in a different continent, you have access to all of these different places that you wouldn't if you were home. It incentivizes you more to travel and be like, oh, let me go out on the weekends to a different city. Let me go do something more fun because you're treating this as like very special time. But coming back from both of my semesters, I realized that you don't need to be in a different country to kind of treat your weekends and your free time like that as opportunities for adventure. If I was willing during my weekends with Verto to take a 3-hour bus ride or something to a different part of the country, of the region, then I can do the same thing here. It makes you treat life more special and more exciting, I feel like, than you treated it before you went on your semester abroad. And I wanted to note, not only does this kind of encourage you to go beyond just your city, I feel like it also teaches you to explore within your own city because, you know, you're going to a new city, you have this limited amount of time. And I know like with my local friends, I was going places with them that they hadn't even been because I feel like when you have access to a place all the time, it's like, oh, why would I go? It makes you remember that there are places in your city where you live that you haven't seen yet, that you haven't explored yet just because you've had access to it. So you kind of just bring that attitude home with you. The next thing that studying abroad with Verto taught me was how to be present. I feel like the analogy I like to use is like, you know, when you're watching a sunset and like sometimes the only thing you can think about, oh, is I need to cherish this moment and it's gonna be over soon, but then you can't even enjoy it because you're thinking about that too much. I had that problem so much before I studied abroad with Verto, but I feel like getting the practice of having so many amazing experiences that you want to be present for all the time gives you a lot of practice on how to be present. And it also helps that you know that that period of time is going to be over. So you're like very invested in enjoying the present moment and what's happening and what you have access to in your life abroad because it's very special. I feel like it just makes you cherish life more and cherish just the day-to-day. The next thing that Verto taught me is school-life balance. A big part of studying abroad is obviously the study part, but then it's also the experience part. So a lot of people ask me like, how did you balance studying while also enjoying your life abroad and like having free time? Life abroad with Verto is like super balanced. I also feel like your professors have a lot of consideration and understanding, and you won't have a situation where they'll give you so much work that like you never have any free time, but obviously you still have work and you're still a student. So I feel like it's a good balance. I feel like when you have these 3 months, like the educational part is so important because obviously that affects how you're going to be able to transfer into your post-Verto plan, things like that. But then you also have this special time in this new place. It really incentivizes you to prioritize both and kind of figure out the right balance. And I think that's a really good skill once you get back. Okay, the next thing that studying abroad with Verto Education taught me was just a broadened perspective. I mean, it's kind of inevitable. You're living somewhere new for an extended period of time. Like you're gonna have your perspective like opened up. But like, since living in 2 different countries, my vision and view of the world is like so much different. I feel like as much as you can try to open your mind, staying in one place and being like, I know places are different, it is a completely different story to see it yourself. I don't know, it changes a lot to have your perspective broaden like that, and to kind of know another place so intimately, and to live there, and to kind of view the customs, view the lifestyle. And I would say that's probably my favorite part, especially about my experience in Buenos Aires, because it was just so culturally immersive, and I loved all that I learned about the world and Argentina. And yeah, in both of my locations, I feel like I just learned so much about the people that live on the world, you know? Now I feel like I want to go spend 2 months like everywhere, because it really changes your mindset, especially because you're living in their economy, you're eating their food, you're walking their streets, you're taking their public transportation, you know, you really become immersed. I would say it's just a really rich experience to broaden your perspective that way. The next thing that Verto education taught me was community. I would say anyone who's ever studied abroad can agree that study abroad friends are different than any other types of friends. You have this very specific and exciting and unique experience with these people. You have a different bond. You're experiencing this very, very, very new thing altogether. So you guys can relate in ways that you can't relate to with anybody else. And you're going through this really big transformation in your life with these people by your side. In my experience, even if you aren't particularly close with people, there is still that community bond there because they're in the same situation. And I also really like the care team model and the way that Verto does everything. I definitely feel like they emphasize community a lot. The community you create, especially within Verto, like having a common space at the study center, and in some locations you have, you know, everyone's in the same apartment building. That's just like a different level of community and friendship and connection. And I also wanted to know, beyond the Verto community, you get to witness the community of your city or sub-communities within your location, and I also think that's really beautiful to see. The next thing that studying abroad with Verto taught me was how to face adversity and discomfort. Do not study abroad unless you're willing to push through discomfort and a different way of life and adversity, because nothing will ever be perfect. There's going to be things about your life abroad that you didn't expect that is more inconvenient or just different and hard to get used to. You want everything to be the same and to have all of your conveniences you have at home in your country and everything. Studying abroad, you're not going to find that there. So I would just say you really have to be open and flexible while you're getting to know your city. I feel like I learned so well how to adapt to situations, but it actually taught me a lot. Just first, again, to just like accept a situation and not need the most convenient version of something for everything. But yeah, I would just say studying abroad is definitely stepping out of your comfort zone, and stepping out of your comfort zone is obviously the place where you grow. And again, it's out of your comfort zone, so at times things might be uncomfortable or scary or stressful, but that is just a part of the experience. So it's important to keep that in mind, and it's an amazing skill to have going into the rest of your life, to not need everything to go according to plan to enjoy an experience. But yeah, that was 7 things I learned while studying abroad with Verto education. Honestly, there's like an infinite amount of things I've learned. It has been the most valuable year of my life and the year I've made the most growth. I would say studying abroad your first year sets you up for so much success. I feel like it makes you grow up in ways that you would not be able to grow up if you had just stayed in the confines of your country, your culture. It also looks amazing on resumes, and it gives you a global perspective. Having a wider perspective of the world will always set you up for more success and more opportunities. I just feel like it's an amazing way to start off your future and kind of get all of the valuable things you learned and implement them into your young adulthood. So yeah, if you have studied abroad with Verto, please comment down below anything you think I missed or anything that you learned while studying abroad that has been really valuable for you. There is a link in our bio to our website if you would like to apply, and also to all of our social media if you would like more information. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope that if you were thinking about studying abroad with Verto before you watch this video, that maybe I swayed you a little bit, because I would not trade my time with Verto for anything in the world. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for watching.